I know I haven't recorded much lately, everybody. I've been trying to get stuff recorded and whatnot, but every time I've tried to record other games other than StarCraft 2, it has come out poorly. I'm trying my best to make as best graphics as I can for you guys on those games and that stuff. And so, I'm trying my best. But that's also why I'm here doing this right now. I've been playing a lot of Warhammer lately. I have 2,000 points of in-game and real life of one army. But this is on Tabletop Simulator here. And this is where I'm allowed to pick a whole bunch of armies here. Like I can go here, and let's say I wanted to play. Here's a pretty normal armor, Tyranids. Sometimes it doesn't want to load stuff up, so because they're all custom units and that stuff. But you can see as stuff comes in, it all has has everything in here. So what I'm actually doing on here right now is I actually want to show you my army lists that I have. I have 2,000 point army lists and 3,000 point army lists on here. These are for future armies I'm going to be building. Now, if you're not familiar with Warhammer 40k, the reason why they're called points is each unit, Ultramarines right here, because they're the pinnacle of what Warhammer normally looks like. These are just custom bundles that I just need to, like there are certain things that I need to install just to be able to play some of these. Let's say so I can look at a unit like this one. Oh, that's the wrong one. This unit right here. I can look at this Land Raider Redeemer, and I can pull it out. But this Land Raider right here has its own points on it, just to be able to play him right now. The point system that he currently has for him is 285 points. So combining that together, for example, where are they? A set of 5 models in total. It's 80 points of these guys. So I'm going to show you. I've got 2 salamanders, one at 2k, one at 3k, 2 tail armies, one at 2k and one at 3k, and this is Astra Militarum at 3k. So I'm going to show you my salamanders armies first. Why are you not loading? There you go. So my 2K armies here. You choose a warlord here. And my warlord is actually Volcanistan here. Okay. And you choose that, and then you can choose other guys in the army. So he's got a lieutenant with him. He's leading a full 10-man squad of apprentice mates. Next one in line is Captain in Terminator armor, leading 10-man squad of Terminators to shoot. One with a missile launcher, one with a assault cannon. They've got a chaplain in Terminator armor, leading a 10-man squad. 5 twin-link claws, 5 hammers. One squad of eliminators in this 2,000 point squad. 1 Brutalis Dreadnought, and 1 Land Raider Redeemer. And then 10 intercessors. This way they start on my home objective, make my home objective sticky, so I'm constantly earning points on it, and they're going to move out. That's a 2,000 point army. Each one of these guys have their own little abilities that really help out. So I'm just going to do this and delete. This way it's off the board. Here is my 3,000 points. So you got Volcanistan, the Captain in Terminator armor, and Chaplain, just like you saw. Then you got Captain Gravis armor with his master crafted heavy bolter, and you got Library and Terminator armor. Volcanistan himself is going to be leading one of these squads on Furnace Marines. Now I might rework this a little bit because I've accidentally put infiltrators in here instead of what I wanted to use, like I did in the other army, so I just gotta remove these guys. Actually, I can do that right now. Yeah. Yeah, 2 Inference Marine squads of 10. So Volcanistan is going to be leading one. Interceptors to claim one of the objectives. 2 sets of 3 Eliminators. The good thing about these guys is they can deep strike. They have Infiltrator, so they can appear anywhere on the map, and I'll show you that later. 2 squads of 10 Terminators. One is going to be led by the Captain Terminator, one is going to be led by the Librarian. Of course, each one of them has 1 assault cannon, 1 stormblower. Now, to be honest, I might be removing one of the squads so I can bring in a lieutenant and someone else, and something else. One Land Raider Redeemer as well, because this is the most expensive Land Raider. And it works really well. 2 Brutalis Dreadnoughts. So, a 10-man squad of Assault Terminators. Of course, 5 claws. Well, I'm going to swap this to 5 claws and 5 hammers. That's just a recent adjustment I've done, so it just needs to happen. And then 1 squad of 6 Eradicators. They are being led by the Captain Gravis Armor. So the reason why, like some of the characters you run this, the chaplain himself has the ability where if he's leading any army he's leading, any Terminators he's leading, they get +1 strength to their melee attacks, which help out a lot. The captains are able to, they do different things and that stuff. Vulcanistan, he's able to pick an objective in No Man's Land and say that he wants that objective. When he's on that, he has some special buffs on that stuff. Each one of them have their own little special abilities. So it's always really good to find out what their abilities are. Easy way to do that is get the codex for the army. And that's the easy way to figure that out. Now let's go with Tau here. Now this is Farsight Enclaves for Tau here. So, 2,000 points here. You see two sets of 2 broadsides here. Railguns and that stuff. In here, you've got 2 sets of 3 Starsights and 2 sets of 3 Sun Forgers. And the Sun Forgers are the flame. Oh wait, the Starsights are flamers. These are the burst cannons. 2 sets of 3 stealth suits. Dark Strider here has deep strike denial on so he prevents anyone getting close to him from deep strike. So most people just put him on your home objective. Commander Shalson, whenever she's on the battlefield, or whenever she's in your army, she has to be the Warlord. But she's also really great as well. And Farsight, leader of the Farsight Enclaves, is pretty much your really only melee boy, but he's really good. One commander, my other HQs in this army is 1 commander in Enforcer battlesuit and one in cold start battlesuit. Each one of them have their own little abilities, so that's where you do it. I've got one ghost kill for spotting for these big boys right here, which are Riptides. These are normally going to be the stealth suits are going to be spotting for everybody else. Normally. But now I'm going to come over here. Now this is a little over 3,000 points, but the only reason is because I brought an extra squad. So one of these squads are, so this is the Star Sights, and these are the Sun Foragers. The only reason why I bring in extra ones is just depending on what I'm facing. If I'm facing a more vehicle heavy list, then I'm going to bring 3 squads of 3 Sun Foragers. If I'm facing more of a infantry list, then I'm going to be bringing 3 squads of 3 of the other ones. And whoever I bring 3 of, I'm only bringing 2 of. Got 2 ghost kills in here. 2 Riptides. One with the burst cannon, one with the other weapon. 1 Storm Surge, which is one of the big mechs that you can actually play without having to go to Warforged. 3 sets of 3 broadsides. 3 sets of 3 ghost stealth suits. And of course the exact same warlords, just a little bit different model. Enforcer Commander, Cold Star Commander, Dark Strider, Farsight, and Commander Shadowsun with hair. This is kind of typical of what you normally see when you're running the retaliation army list. But here's something you're going to also look at. I'm going to come over here to Army, click this, and swap it to Farsight, and it's going to load. There's only one model I'm going to have to click X for. And that's a different army. But you can see, if you're running anything else, you could run recruits, warriors, run some of these. These ones right here are Warforged and other stuff, or old models. Got some other crisis suits here. Got some of these very powerful guns. Unfortunately, this guy right here is no longer around. So, at least in competitive play, you can still play him. The big Manta that is really expensive just to play by itself. Tiger Shark, Barracuda, all the different artwork, different setups for broadside, different weapon loadouts, crisis suits, all the commanders here. Here's another big mech that is only for Forge World. That's another one for Forge World. So, it's all quite fun and that stuff. And like these are different floating platforms you can find throughout now. So my next one, the last army I want to show you, is called Fort of Salamanders. The reason why it's for salamanders is if you do not know salamanders lore, salamanders like protecting the any civilians that they come across. So I'm making a custom army for Adeptus Militarum that try to follow the Salamanders Codex. So they like heavy flamers, they like being in mid-range and that stuff. This is just their tank division. I still need to work on their infantry division, and I gotta figure out how to work that out still. But let's start it off. The warlord in this army, warlord of the Tau army, if you haven't figured it out, has to be Shalzon. The warlord in this army is this Lehman Russ commander. He's got the Vanquisher battle tank. 2 regiment engineers, because all these vehicles, it could be following any of these vehicles, and they can heal them. So 1 Ursula Creed, so this way it can be with one of these infantry squads. These are 9-man squads, which actually counts for 10 because of the heavy weapons team. Each counts for 2 units. So I've got 1 missile launcher, 1 mortar team. Mortar team's going to stay on my home objective, and this missile launcher is most likely the one going to be pushed out. Whoever's going to be pushing out with the Creed is going to be in the Chimera. The good thing is, when you're going to be, the Astra Militarum actually are able to give commands out. So Ursula's Creed's able to give commands out to most of the squads. She's able to give to these sentinels, to these guys, while the tank commander is going to be issuing commands to this whole squad right here, to any of these guys around him. Got 1 Chimera. While he's in the Chimera, he can still issue out commands to these guys. I've got 2 rocket launcher ordnances and 2 bombast field guns for ordnance teams. 3 sets of 3 armored sentinels. These I have made so this way they're fast movers, and they get out there in the middle of the battlefield extremely quickly to try to deal with heavier vehicles, heavier stuffs, the heavy infantry, ones with the stronger armors and that stuff, or vehicles, and then 3 sets of 3 scouts, and these all are good against infantry and that stuff. I've got 2 Vanquisher Lehman Rushes. These are good against heavy stuff, while the Punishers are good against light stuff. And then their big Bane Blade, which is pretty much their biggest mech, the biggest vehicle that they have. Just like Salamanders, the biggest land vehicle they have is the Land Raider Redeemer. This is their biggest one. So that's that. Now I want to go take you to how to actually play Warhammer. I'm going to come over here, load this up. Load it up. I'm going to confirm here. Games. If I'm running my salamanders, I like running this map. So, very cool map. Now, the way to find out deployment is there's normally cards. Yeah, playlist various in here. You can flip deployment cards right here. Or if you just want to play a certain one with your friends, you can click it. Hammer and Anvil. You see one squad spawns back here. There's your home objective on each one of them. The other one's home objectives right here. And 3 no man's land. That's Hammer and Anvil. This is Dawn of War. Oops. Sweeping engagements. It's actually supposed to be a little line right here, but it's not that. It's really hard to do. I don't know why they did it like this. What's this one? Oh, search and destroy. You spawn on one corner, except for this little section. Get a bonus spawn on this corner. No man's land is right here. Crystal Battle. Tipping Point. This is a different hammer versus anvil. But this is more beneficial to the defending player. And then Dawn of War. This is more beneficial because you got a closer objective to the attackers. And oh my gosh, that's kind of repeating. We got victory points here, how you decide who's gonna win and that stuff. And then while you're playing, so save objectives. Let's do my Tau army here. Let's not do. Yeah, I could do this one for example. So I could put Darkstrider right here on this home point. And Darkstrider within 12 inches of him. So 12 inches of him. Nothing can come onto the deep strike with him within 12 inches. So they most likely would have to pop up right here and spill around this way if I'm running this objective. Or they would have to come into no man's land where my other guys are. And then my storm surge would most likely be protected by him, so he could do indirect fire into here with his big gun. Riptides, I would put one, well, one would start right back here, and then he would move to like right here. This way he could see this whole pathway, this whole area, and he can just lay cover down. The other one will probably most likely do kind of like the same thing. Let's start over here and walk just forward enough let's see. Let's start game here. Oh, can't start game because I don't have enough person. That sucks. But you gonna watch for the like terrain bases like this? He's not gonna be able to see. But you can walk out just a little bit, and then you can see right through this little corridor right here for anyone coming out this way. And then Ghost Kings, at the very start of the game, they can just like boop and boop, and then boop. 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 And like they're just here giving the opportunity for everybody else to get spotting and that stuff. So yeah, that's why of course some of them might not be able to get into these spots like there, because your opponent might also have infiltrator stuff as well. So you might have to adjust where you're infiltrating your stuff in. But yeah, it's a very fun game and that stuff. It can get quite expensive to play in person, but if you can get your friends to play with you on this game, then guess what? It's quite fun. You can each have some fun have a blast. So this is just the options here. Yeah, I just want to, like I said, I've been trying to get games recorded. I'm going to start, if I get Warhammer games and that stuff, I'm going to start recording them as well from on here. This way you guys can enjoy it with me. Whether I win or lose, I'm still going to post it. So, but I'm trying to get games right now recorded of both Fallout 4 and Call of Duty Ghost. Call of Duty Ghost, I'm at the points where the graphics, I can play it, but the graphics aren't the best. So I might just record it, and I'll have to deal with once I get a better computer, record it later on. Fallout 4, I'm still trying to figure out the best graphics for it, because there's so much stuff going on with it. I kind of want to actually run a controller with it, because it's a lot better with a controller, and I have no clue where my controller is right now. So I had to order a new controller now, which sucks, but keep an eye out lately. You're gonna see here in the future more games coming up, so just keep an eye out. Well, this is SE Thor or Gunmaster 117, depending on where you know me. Signing out.